The Dunbar Pavillion, a building at the center of Tucson's African-American community, now a for-profit foster care company with a history of abuse allegations, is moving in. 9 on Your Side's investigative reporter Chandrea Thomas spoke to everyone involved in this controversial move. It's a story you'll only see on 9.
The Dunbar Pavillion is a beloved and historical site right here in Tucson. But one local group says they disagree with how some of the space is being used inside. But site leaders say they're doing the right thing.
It would be the first time that the Office of Refugee Resettlement is in the picture with them, but they have a long documented history, some in Tucson, of abuse.
Andres Portela is speaking out. Last fall, leaders at the once segregated Dunbar School signed a deal with Vision Quest to open its first transitional school for unaccompanied migrant girls. And it's a partnership that's stirring up controversy.
You know, we're supposed to break the chain of the cycle of oppression. And all they're doing is being part of it.
Portela joined forces with community organizers Matthew Kearney and Sadie Shaw, who say adding Vision Quest as a tenant at the Dunbar Pavillion goes against everything the Dunbar stands for. They want transparency and laws to keep for-profit detainment centers out of Tucson.
We want to increase the amount of oversight through an oversight committee of some sort.
The Dunbar, that's known for having, being a segregated space in the past, is welcoming in another segregated school.
The typical kids that'll be with us will be here for very short term, less than a month.
KGUN 9 spoke to Vision Quest President Mark Contento and Dunbar Executive Director Debbie Chess. Both say they're providing a service for those who need it. The school can hold up to 50 girls between 5 and 17 years old during the school day before heading to a separate Vision Quest housing facility.
We do assessments, we do remediation, we teach English, and we acclimate them to the classroom setting.
This is about education. So if we can provide a safe and accommodating space for these young women to gain the skills and competencies that they need to be successful, then that's what we are supporting.
According to news reports by the LA Times and Newsweek, Vision Quest has been accused of neglect and abuse in the past, and proposals to put facilities in Los Angeles, San Antonio, and Albuquerque were rejected after public input, and there was no public forum here in Tucson. Ward 1 Councilmember Lane Santa Cruz released a statement about the deal in her area, and it says, in part, the Dunbar should at minimum conduct an investigation and take inventory before getting into the business of caging children and contributing to the school-to-prison pipeline. This seems to contradict the values and the mission of the Dunbar. The program is funded by a 3-year federal grant from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. Meanwhile, Contento says they're adding 50 new jobs and $5 to $10 million to the local economy.
We are regulated both by the federal government and by the state. We're licensed by the state as well, and they both provide oversight.
The school will open once COVID-19 regulations are lifted, and the lease with the Dunbar Pavillion is renewed on a yearly basis.
We want to build up the Dunbar and keep the legacy positive and not negative.
Chandrea Thomas, KGUN 9 on your side.
And Arizona non